It was meant to be, I put my life on it. I ain't come this far just to die from it. You ain't on my way, nigga. Get out my way, on the way, I'ma stop till I'm.
Yo, it's my boy Serion, coming out with his new album called Nebula. Not everybody you love applies, okay? Got your girl Tiffany J on the first track. Check him out.
Get out my way, on the way, I'ma stop till I'm.
Did you know I'm gonna come with it? Come with the 10 minutes. I want you stare into these pretty brown eyes. Hey guys, this is Tiffany J coming to you live. 10 minutes with yours truly. I hope you like the show. Check it out. Here we are again on another ride home. Just want to tell you guys about the day and how I conquered it. Even though when I talked about my peanut butters and jellies, I had many peanut butters and then I turned them into jellies. And if you don't know what peanut butters and jellies are, the peanut butters are the kind of hard, thick things that you got to chew through, get through, and then your jellies are smooth and easy to come by, right? But together they make an awesome sandwich and you have something to speak on or testify about later on in life. So today started with I don't want to necessarily say a bad dream. In everything that I encounter, whether it's adversarial or not, I want to try to think on how I can make me stronger and how I can think about it positively instead of only pulling out of the negative. I'm really trying to change my thought pattern into doing that more often and on the fly and initially. So today started off with a very weird dream, and I said, okay, is this going to be something as a warning? Is this a foreshadowing? Is this what is this? And I guess I kind of took it as just be aware, be on edge, just be mindful that anything could pop off today, right? And I did have a tough conversation that I was expecting to have with someone, and I had several other things on my plate. So had the tough conversation, it ended well. Had a few things that backed me up from my initial plan of stuff that I wanted to get done. A few frustrating, one customer, but it worked out in the end. And I feel what I learned from it was, let me say the one thing before I forget, because I have two in mind. So I was talking with one of my customers today, and I was getting her information, right? I was like, your first name, she told me. Last name, she told me. Phone number, she told me. And then I looked at her, because in my mind, I said what I thought I had said out loud. And then we just were staring at each other. And I was looking at her like, why didn't she respond back? And then I was like, oh my gosh, I literally did not say it out loud. It was such a funny moment. And I'm sure you're like, okay, whatever. But it was interesting because I had such an intent on what I had said in my mind. And I thought I literally said it out loud. So I don't know, there's something to that. And I think I want to dive into that later, how strong your mental thoughts can be, that they make moves and manifest in the world. But just as no one may know what you're thinking, or you may not know what other people are thinking, they may not know what you're thinking. So I say this to say, to remind myself to constantly not worry about what somebody else looks like in the terms of their facial expression when I'm talking to them, because that could be their processing face. That could be their, I don't know if I want to do this, maybe I'll commit, maybe I'll whatever, whatever it is. Or they could even be thinking bad things about you. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What I've learned is, or what I am learning is, you are responsible for what you say, not what you think. And that is something that is sticking. So if you text something, or if you blurt something out, you can't take those things back, right? But your thoughts, you can say whatever it is that you need to say in your mind. But I also want to challenge myself and you listening to hold yourself accountable for your thoughts as well, because as a man thinks, so is he. And I know that God, I believe he looks at the heart of man, and your heart and your mind and your soul basically all go together. So he also judges us for our thoughts as well. And because your thoughts eventually manifest into things that you act out. So I'm trying to not be as defensive up front when people ask me questions, when people ask me things, when people make comments, unsolicited or not. It all changes your interactions and how you can become a better communicator, regardless of whether the people that you closely interact with are not put in the effort to do so. It is not their job, even though you would think that it is, right? The only way sometimes I feel that we can be the change agent and the catalyst in the world, our families, friends, whatever it is that we actually make the change ourselves. If more of us stood our ground, made the standard, stood beyond the status quo and said, I am going to do X, Y, and Z every single day to become a better citizen, to become a better person, to become a better me to myself, then that is when, then and only then, can you begin to see the change in others, because they're only going to respond to you in the way in which you allow them, And so it's a cool, interesting thing. It's a really cool, interesting thing. Today went very well, and I'm so glad. Like my weekends, guys, are like on a random Wednesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Friday, or split up in between the week. It's not usually on Saturday. So what I love about it is, while everybody else is at work, I can kind of do stuff in minimal traffic because everybody's at work, or no one usually bothers me because everyone's at work, so I can relax with ease a little bit more. So I do enjoy having days off in the middle of the week, but then when stuff starts popping on the weekends, when everybody's trying to do stuff, and I'm like, dang, I'm gonna be at work, and that's like that's the catch-22. I am starting to find the balance and the happy medium between the busy and not allowing myself to become overly anxious, right? Or have any anxiety about my day. I go into it thinking proactively versus being reactive. It's a very difficult thing to do, and I can only think on how far I've come from like my college and my high school days. It was interesting. Somebody asked me if I had any kids, just up front. And I was like, where did this come from? It was so funny. And I said no. And they were like, yeah, well, you giving me mama vibes. And I was like, okay. They was like, how you interact with people. And sometimes I think it's so interesting how certain people project certain things based on their experiences of you and how you interact with them. I noticed that, and I noticed that I fluctuate or I flex my communication depending on who I'm talking to, which is a really good skill to have. So when I was talking to this younger gentleman, and by young I mean, yes, younger gentleman, I think that's why he was getting them, because I was trying to have a more caring, nurturing demeanor, because that's what he needed at the moment, versus other people would not necessarily, because I do the same thing with older people. I'm in a position at my job where I have to kind of guide people and lead them with whatever it is that they're trying to do. And I find that when you do that more often, you can do that in every aspect of your life. When you go, even when you're being served, I try to be of service to other people. So it started off weird. I'm thankful for everything that happened today, because it makes me stronger, it makes me better. I remember to think on things that make me strong. I always keep saying that every time I have a difficult situation. The dream played the previous episode, so I'm sure if you listen to it, or if you haven't, check it out. It's called Soul Ties Through Casting. That's the only thing I could think of, and it was very interesting. My dreams that I have, I would love to try to make visual representations of them. So we'll see. Maybe one day I could sit down with a screenwriter, a script writer, and we can make that happen. All right, I'll check you guys later. I'm almost home. About to get some food and eat it, and it will be amazing. I'm going to celebrate my next 2 days off.
Original music score, Cold Case, Noxious 2, coming soon. It's Your Love.
I realized I'm an 80s baby. I realized that I'm full of soul. Cross my mind, it's a roller coaster. Living in some other time, you know.
Featuring Tiffany J.
Are you looking for me?
That was another edition of 10 Minutes with Tiffany J. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, because I know I did. You can find more episodes on my website, www.tjayetaylor.com, and go to podcasts. But don't stop there. Hop on over to the music tab and rock out to your favorite Tiffany J records, starting with my latest single, Work For It. Available for streaming and downloads on all major platforms, with a bomb video showcase on YouTube featuring the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina.
What's up, Dance World? This your boy Herschel KG. This beautiful lady is.
I'm Tiffany J.
If you missed out last week, you do not want to miss out this week, because last week was lit.
Amazing. So if you want to be in the building, make sure you go to
purplecharlotte.com.
Reserve your spot.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you can't make it, it's all right, because you can go to Purple Charlotte Steppers Club on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And do what?
Join us live.
6:30 on Thursdays. We'll see you there, okay? We your hosts, Tiffany J.
Herschel KG.
Uh.
Deuces.
We'll see you there.